makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits, and you know you're going to fall,
What the hell?
Time to jack into the matrix of Hollywood toys and live the movies.
Yo! Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Hollywood Toys, the only place where you can live the movies. I am your host, Magic Mike, and welcome to my channel where I do travel and entertainment vlogs covering theme parks, comic and horror cons, movies, celebrities, action figures, video games, and more. And I also have some pretty cool action figure and movie merch as well. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification bell so that you won't miss out on any future videos, future lives, or new product releases. And now it's magic time and it's Matrix time. How's everybody doing on this lovely Sunday evening? Once again, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another random live that I didn't even know I was going to be doing until a few minutes ago, but you know how that goes. All right, so welcome to all my family and friends, who I am going to live for forever. That's right. So, thank you to my friend Vic Rules, Quadruple Six, for joining me today, and the amazing and talented and ever so good-looking Yakov Petrovich, who says, "Get y'all Sentiments donuts." You bastard. Get your Entenmann's donuts ready, y'all. We'll love this next part. We shall see. And, Hollywood Toyz has joined us today, too. It says, oh, yeah, get ready. It's coming. And Mr. Lantern, how you doing? And, come on, why isn't this working? Howdy to the panel. Kick Yakov off the panel. No. And Joey Numbers, yo. And Vic Rules. Whoa, Mike. That guy said he's gonna jack into you. Watch out, y'all. I'll try and be careful. I really will. Bussin' with the boys. So yes, I would like to welcome all of my Hollywood ladies and Hollywood boys out there to the show. Here we go. Anyways, let's see. And Carl the fan also here with me. Yay! Mike time. That's right, y'all. Yo, Big Money Mikey. Oh, yeah. Vic says, Mike, we need a tour of them shells back there. Yes, that will be a future video and or live. Just gotta do a bunch of more stuff before, we do the official Fantasy Workshop tour. That's right. So, let's see. We got a $9 million super chat for Mr. Lantern. Thank you. Howdy, Carl. Doing good. Punk Rock. Ambatabus. I don't know what language that be. My hard R punk rock. Hard R. What is that, like Rebel? A real one? I don't know. And Big Money Rob, Hollywood Mikey. Alrighty. Yeah. Alright. My hard R TTTR. And Muslim privilege. Jacking into what? That is the question. And it's not what we're looking for. It's the question that drives us. You know the question. Yeah. The answer will find you if you let it. All right. So today we are doing part 2 of finishing making and preparing my blank action figure backdrop paper. So I got most of it done already. I got the 23-inch sizes done and the 27-inch sizes done. So we're now down to the 36-inch size ones. So I just roll them out onto my table here. And then I take a random sheet that I just scribble all over so I know this is my flattening sheet, because what I do is I'll take I'll do them like 4 at a time, stack them up, and I'll roll them like that and roll it back and forth. But when I first started doing this, I realized that doing that would leave scratches on the actual backdrop paper that I'm rolling out. So I figured out, I need to put another piece of paper on top so I could do that and not worry about scratching up the whatever. And it would drive me up the wall because I would, print the things out and I would see the scratches and I would think it had something to do with the printer or that the printer was doing that. And believe me, I've gone through my fair share of dozens and dozens and dozens of botched prints, especially when I first got the printer and figuring it all out and figuring out, all the issues. But that's just part of the cost of doing business, though. Sometimes you got to pay to learn. You know what I'm saying? So Vic says, do these backdrops have floor sections too? Oh, not yet. Only one of them that I offer does, and that's the Teletran 1 playset that comes with floors. But eventually, over time, I will add floor options for all of my backdrops. So yeah. So we do that on end number 1. I already kind of pre-did these. And then I let it sit for a few seconds. And that usually takes care of it. And then I flip it around. And then do the other ends. Yeah. Just like that. That's so cool. Mike counterfeits money, TTR. You just didn't hear me read that. Mike prints North Korean super notes with templates from Zach. That's cool as heck. Rob says you should add trifold backdrops too so it encapsulates the figurine. Well, some of my customers already do that with the backdrop that I send them, and they just kind of, like, if they have a smaller shelf but the backdrop's wider, they'll like fold in the ends. So that's kind of why I don't want to do that, because I'll let the customer custom fit their backdrop how they want and that sort of thing. All right, so that's that. Vic says, Mike, did you ever watch Mask in the good old days? I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't remember watching it regularly. Although I'm sure I've watched a lot of them. The only ones that I actually remember looking forward to watching and having the toys of was Voltron, G1 Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, Silverhawks, and Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe. One of the best from cartoon to movie type movies ever. Even though it's produced by the Cannon Group, notoriously famous for making lots of bad movies, including Superman 4. How unfortunate was that? But it is what it is. Muslim Privilege asks, do you watch Dunstan Checks In? Dunstan Checks In? It's not on my movie list, but I think I may have skimmed through it, but no, I don't ever remember actually watching that movie from beginning to end, if at all. Or unless I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking that's one with like a monkey or a chimp or something like that. Or or am I thinking of the movie? Maybe it's probably not the movie about the little girl who has the seal and befriends the seal. Oop, I'm going. Do I have it up here? Yo, Moose, how you doing? Hi, CTF. Okay. Oh boy. The Quest for Peace is like an 80s comedy in part 3. 1 and 2 are quality. It's like an 80. The Quest for Feet is like an 80s comedy. Unless you're saying it's like an 80s comedy and part 3. Well, I'll have you know that for years, since I would say at least 2010, I've been working on what's going to be one of the bestest, greatest fan edits of Superman 3 anyone could ever imagine seeing. That I will hopefully be able to, once I finish it and make it, I could put on the channel and not worry about any copyright issues or jeopardizing my channel, because I used to have a YouTube channel back in the day called Superman Recut, where I put up those fan edits as I made them then. But I got so many claims from Warner Brothers, they just got to a point of just suspending the channel indefinitely. But hopefully a lot has changed since way back then, and, you know, they're more lenient, or they, you know, will just place ads on it, whatever it is. But I'm still kind of not mad, but like some of my videos on there had hundreds of thousands of views. So yeah, but I still have a lot of those older stuff on my hard drive, so yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be doing fan edits of all 4 Superman movies, including a bonus Superman 5 with Christopher Reeve as Superman. That's right. And now with the and I already had, you know, some pretty good ideas and kind of had planned out for years how I was going to do a lot of this stuff, but now with the advent of AI at the helm, oh my lord, the possibilities are just endless and endless, and like I don't know, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to look like something that only a studio could put out. You know, it won't look like a obviously fan-made thing. Like, to anyone that didn't know, it was just some random guy with a laptop making it, and you watched it, you wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't know. Unban museum. Unban them from what? The Seal movie was called Andre. Yeah, that's right. That's one I'm definitely thinking of that I ran through. So just to give you an idea, and I've mentioned this before, so I apologize for all the people in the back that have heard me mention this at least, you know, a few times here and there. But just to show you how serious I am about these Superman fan edits that I've been working on forever. So, like, for example, mainly talking about, maybe you could do a video about Dunstan checks in if it was The Matrix. I guess. Museum, you ever see Free Willy? So, yeah, so basically, when it comes to Superman 3, that's going to be one of my main focuses, and one of my favorite, it is going to be one of my most favorite and most proud of fan edit. Because for those of you that are familiar, that know or don't know, you know, that's the one that stars Richard Pryor as one of the main characters. And of course, you know, Richard Pryor's one of the great comedy geniuses out there. And he's done a lot of great movies. But when it came to Superman 3, like, they just overwrote the character, and basically it became a movie where Richard Pryor was the star of a Superman movie, with Superman making occasional, you know, cameo appearances in that movie. So, and even lots of unnecessary comedic slapstick, this, that, and the other, and most, you know, people that are fans of the series know what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing Superman 3 back to more the serious, dramatic tone that the first two that started. So I'm going to be getting I did a calculation, but there's 45 minutes worth of material that I'm going to be deleting from the original movie, right? Of unnecessary scenes, the over the top slapstick, Gus Gorman, Richard Pryor flying off a 200-story skyscraper on or on skis and somehow surviving. Just lots of craziness, right? So, so I'm going to be getting rid of all of those over-the-top, unnecessary scenes that don't progress the plot, that don't progress the story in any way, and is just there for, ha ha ha, isn't this funny? Look, Richard Pryor, ha ha ha, So because of that, though, now I'm, only left with, let's say, about just over an hour worth of a movie left. So that we can't have a movie that's now only an hour and 10 minutes long or whatever, right? So over the years, I've been coming up with ideas of new scenes I can create to replace the old ones, but scenes that actually mean something and progress the story and enhance the characters. So for the past 10 to 15 years, what I've been doing is I decided that I'm gonna go through every movie that I can from I made a list of movies from around the late 70s, because that's when the first Superman came out, all the way up to at least, let's say, the early 2000s. To go through those movies to see if there's anything usable for stock footage, or to give me ideas of new scenes that I could put in, or new scenes I can use to construct, wouldn't this scene be cool? Now going through thousands of movies to find the perfect footage that I could use, if that makes sense. So, top 10 seals in the Matrix. Man, we're getting pretty wild with the Matrix ideas, I see. And Vic says, Mike, have you ever seen Sidekicks or Top Dog? Probably not. And I think I get Sidekicks confused with Three Ninjas, because aren't they kind of similar in concept? I don't know. So yeah, step one, making the list and going to websites to and type in the year. What were all the movies from this year, and then go year by year by year. From again the mid 70s all the way up to the early 2000s. And I had no idea just how many movies that come out, because there's movies, there's independent films, there's TV movies, so just hundreds and hundreds of movies for just 1 year. So I started out by making a list of the movies to go through, and that by itself probably took about a month to finally, complete that list, in between doing orders and, the usual stuff, like with everything else. And then what I would do is go on YouTube, and I would start by just looking for the make my list, and then narrow it down by looking at trailers of each of the movies. And usually, most of the time, just by looking at the trailer, I could already tell, oh, this will have nothing usable, or this one will, or whatever. So obviously, I'm looking for movies that take place within modern times, and especially preferably in a big city, since Superman takes place in Metropolis, New York City, and that sort of thing. So if I look at a trailer and I see it's animated cartoon, then obviously I can ease. So basically, starting to what can I eliminate? What do I know won't work? Or a movie that takes place in ancient Rome, or in the Wild West, or in the far future, or in a post-apocalyptic world, or whatever it is. So that was another couple months of going through the list, looking on YouTube. So whether I would be here at home, or I'm waiting in a doctor's office, I could just go on YouTube and have my list also in my phone. So I could just start crossing off, crossing off to where now I'm down to, okay, I can get the list down from like each year of like 100, a couple hundred movies down to like 30. Then out of those 30, I would start looking to see, okay, which of these movies can I find for free somewhere? So, because again, I don't want to be spending money on other streaming services or for DVDs and Blu-rays, especially to buy something to go through that movie just to find out there's nothing usable in it anyways, and it'd be a total waste of money. So, let's see. Did you club it to death after museum? No. Rob says, Mike hides in Florida because he once made fortune as a seal clubbing guide punk rock. No, I didn't. Best to keep that to the seal pups. Easier to take back home in a backpack for processing. Nice. Makes sense. Ever fry your chicken and seal pup fat, Mike? Game changer. No. Okay. So yeah, so the next step would be, and then making lists and making a note for each year even. So not on my computer in folders. So now at home, I can kill two birds with one stone. While working on orders or working on business or working on other things, I can now play those movies in the background while I'm working. And then I would like mark down timestamps of, oh, that looks like a good scene, or I could use that for whatever, and just start doing that. So as of now, I think I'm on 1996. So that's what I've been doing. I'll just play those movies that I could find for free. I'll look on YouTube, on Daily Motion, Tubi, Canopy, and a couple of other sites that has free movies, and then narrow it down to where once I get all the way to the end of the list, and I still have those movies that I haven't seen yet, that the only way to see them, I can't find them free anywhere, then at the very end, I might consider, okay, what streaming service or where can I go to watch these movies and hopefully not have to spend that much money. But again, all that work does pay off, because for every 5 or 10 movies, I hit one that has at least 1, 2, or 3 usable scenes that I know how I can use it, and I write it again in my notes and keep track of it. So, yeah, in just my Superman 3 edit alone, there's probably going to be clips from like 20 different movies, all scattered all across, but blended in such a way especially if you've never seen that movie before, you won't even realize that it came from somewhere else or whatever. So it's almost going to be almost like a brand new movie, at the end of the day. Heck of a undertaking, and at the rate I'm going, I might get it done within the next 5 years, 10 years, next 10 years, 5 years if I'm lucky. But yeah, just one of the many things on my ever never-ending to-do list. So it's a blessing and a curse. I have more than enough on my wish list of things I want to accomplish and do, and it'll never run out. So I'll never be bored. I'll always have stuff to do, always be busy. There'll never come the day where I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm so bored. What do I want to do today? I don't know. I have no idea. I can't even fathom ever getting to that point. It's just, yeah. So that's that, crazy Mike, just constantly. And for every 10 that on my list, every day I'm coming up with 2 or 3 more ideas, and I have to write those so I don't forget those. And or a proverbial seal pup, nah. With a stick, nah. Unless you got good aim with that stone, nah. Rob says, Mike on the proverbial seal hunt. Weirdos. All right. Oh, and we still have all these to do yet. And we still have more intros to finish yet. But we're getting it done. Always late, but always done at some point. My goals, my dreams, my ambitions, they're all going to come true because that's what living the movies is all about. We're going to live it. We're going to achieve it. We're going to accomplish it. Say it with me. Yeah. And at some point I got to get me some Matrix shirts as well as make some Matrix shirts for my store. That's right. Think it, dream it, do it. Oh yeah, Rob gets it. That's it. That's it. Boy, between that on my to-do list, which came way before YouTube, way before the store. So, yeah, it's amazing how though the store and the YouTube that came later, that's now taking precedent even more over the older stuff. But it's going to get done because after all, it's going to make some pretty good content for my channel that's all about living the movies, right? And again, with the advent of AI, the possibilities, of things that I would have barely been able to make work, now it's just going to be insane. Um, Between that and the few hundred other products that are on my to-do list that I still need to make and add to the store, making a hit list for all the seal pups. Now that's going to be another one. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Oh. No back brace today. Carl says, Mike rules big time. No, Carl. Compared to you, I'm nothing. You rule. You rule more. You rule bigger, taller, and badder than ever. Oh, yeah. And then just for creating new products, who knows what AI will also help me to achieve. As I've definitely found some tools that are making things a bit easier, faster, more efficient, this, that, and the other. So, yeah. Which makes me even more excited for my super big video project that, again, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get done within the next year. But is going to be the one of my best videos that'll hit the channel and maybe ever from that point. It's going to be pretty epic. It's a video that I'm going to have already invested vastly into and will continue to, and do whatever it takes, pump money into promoting it, advertising it, pushing it out there. That I could definitely see getting thousands, if not tens of thousands of views. One of the only videos that I would actually really ask all of you to share around, promote it, put it out there in your social media, help me spread the word on the epic Hollywood Toyz video. So many things going on. So busy all the time. Never stops. Ugh. But it would be nice to get caught up at least to a point to where I could have an actual day off where I'm not worried about, oh, I got to accomplish this or that. And I could just relax, play some video games, go to a theme park, go for a walk at the mall. go to the flea market. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Rob says, Mike, why don't you use a cheap clothing iron and steam press the papers flat? Might save you some time. Steam press the paper. A cheap clothing iron and steam press. We might have to look into that. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah. I'll give it a try. Oh, man. Could get them done relatively quick, I think. If it works, yeah. Got me thinking. Well, you think this is bad. When I first started doing this, I thought, and what I would do is I would take a few at a time, and I would roll them the other way, put rubber bands around it, and just stack them up, around, and then a few minutes later unrubber band them and flatten them out, which took even longer. So at least I'm progressing in terms of, getting things done quicker here and there. So yeah. But at least I'm down to the last roll, and then we have a few of the smaller ones to do. And we'll actually be done, y'alls. How about that? Ah. Nice, almost finished. Well, yeah, I'm down to the last. Yeah, just one more. That's all I have left for the big 36-inch longers. Oh. Oh boy. One more. All right. So thanks for joining me here today and hanging out with me and bearing with me as I get this stuff done. Hence why I didn't have time to think up or come up with more topics to talk about. So it's just pretty much been all off the top of my head. Just talking about, stuff that I've been working on now, working on the past, working on in the future. Um, it's just the only enemy. As I've said before, the cliche line, time is always against us. Time is always against me. If only we could pause time and catch up on everything and get a little bit ahead and then unpause time and, you know. But that's another thing on my to-do list, folks. I promise you. Is, once I have some time and once I finish all the video elements and video editing, then I'm going to spend some time on coming up with ideas and brainstorming on, topic ideas and just making out a whole list. and make up enough, for at least weeks, months worth of videos. I always like to have more than I ever need. I'm a psychologically abundant person, so I always like the idea of having more than you ever need. More money, more health, more time, more positivity, you know. Oh, okay. Oh. But at least I have thought of the idea of, how could I still do a lives while getting work done without it interfering too much? Because otherwise, uh, if I didn't think of that idea, I would only be able to go live maybe almost never, once a month, a couple times a month, if I felt, whatever, like I had enough time, or I wouldn't be sacrificing too much time. More money, more problems. I'll gladly take them. There's always a cost to doing business, so nothing's free. There's always a cost somewhere, no matter where you are. No sacrifice, no victory. Sometimes you gotta lose in order to win. Nothing is always ever perfect. Nothing always ever goes your way. And it's constant swaying back and forth, riding out the storm and trying to adapt and keep up and not let it get to you. Punk rock says no pain, no gain. That's right. So I'm glad I went through the potential pain of failure by starting my business, whereas there's more people than not out there that don't because they're focused on more the negative side of things. And I can't do that. What if I fail? What if it takes too long? What if it doesn't work? What if, what if? Instead of asking, what if it works? What if I can do it? What if I will do it? Because you can, as positive minded as I am, even I can find, if you're really looking for it, I can find negatives in anything. There's no such thing as anything out there. A situation, a person, a TV show, a movie, a car, the world. There's nothing out there in this world that you can claim is 100% perfect that doesn't have something negative somewhere you can find about it. But that doesn't mean we have to focus on that. Failure is the best teacher. Unfortunately, some never learn. That's right. So I'm more than happy to fail. If I have to fail 1,000 times, but I accomplish something that I can only ever accomplish by doing that, again, I look at that. That's just the cost of business. That's called earning your dues, paying your dues. Nothing's free. Unless you have like super rich millionaire, multi-billionaire parents that, can, help you out and take care of you. But even then, like, there's a cost to that. Yeah. So it's not free because now, to the person that gets handed down everything to them, now their character is going to be lacking. Their personality is going to be lacking. They're going to be a self-entitled jerk for all their lives because that's how they've been treated. If they've been treated as, they get everything handed to them, so it's more and more expected. So that I can't imagine having that mindset. Have all the money in the world, but just have just that. No one's better than me. I don't have to do anything. I don't. So you have no reason or motivation to accomplish anything. It's like, yeah, I can. For anybody, for me, like if from the age of 6 or 10, and suddenly I had all the money in the world, I would have no purpose for life, no meaning for my own life. It would be so empty and shallow and you know. Carl says anything worth in life, Mike, is worth scamming people over? Anything worth in life is worth, I don't know. That's what I was taught. So yeah, nothing's free, ever. There's always a hidden cost, somewhere, somehow. It's just the way it is. All right, we're done with the 36s, so now on to just a few more of these, the smaller ones. This is a 19-inch piece, but I figured it's got some, barely you could see them, some creases, so no good. Oh well. All right, is this one any? No. No, same shit. What about this one? Even better. Rob says the iron idea might prevent creasing. Well, no, it had nothing to do with that. This is how it came in the roll. Like when you get to the very end of the roll, usually like the last, 20 or so inches already have those creases in there. So it has nothing to do with flattening them out. It's just they're just always there. Sometimes they're hard to see, and other times you can kind of. All right, so this one doesn't have them. So okay, so that's a good one. Did this one have? Of course, because they're shorter, they don't stay flat on the table and they crinkle back up. And this one, yep, not good. Oh boy. So I swear, folks, as we go on, these lives, even random ones, will be well, will be better structured and all that, and thought out and better put together. But you learn as you go too. Sometimes you can't always plan everything and plan to death. Sometimes you only learn by doing. So I've learned a lot just by doing, these lives and through the experience, uh, and coming up with ideas I would not have thought of just by planning on paper. So there's always that. Okay. Um, and if anything, I wish I was one of those people that can somehow survive on only 4 to 5 hours of sleep. Just so much time wasted in sleeping, but I'm not a morning person. So, or even worse, because that's the other thing I don't like about having this never ending to do list and not feeling like I'm ever going to get caught up is, winding up, staying up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning because I'm like, oh, I want to finish these three things by the time I go to bed, thinking I'll be able to do that by at least 11, 12, 1 at the latest. But it almost never turns out that way. And then, of course, I don't get up till 11 or 12 the next day, because I went to bed so late. So, Here, what do we got over here? Oh, we had another 36. Oh, I guess I forgot to. Oh, okay. So what's this one then? This one is. What? How did I miss two of these? I don't know. But it's the last two, period. So after this, I'm done flattening papers. Uh, Museum Flipper says, "You eat squirrel." No, you eat squirrel. Don't eat the squirrels. Uh, oh, man. Museum Privilege says, "You got much debt?" Not much. Zero. No debt. I hate debt. I'm anti debt. And I encourage anyone and all to avoid debt like the plague at all costs, ever, for anything. Pay cash for everything. The only thing I would be willing to go into debt for would be a house or a property or, or something along those lines. But that's it. No debt. Debt sucks. Just such a financial drainer. But again, I say that with a caveat though. That's easy for me to say. I'm a single guy, so I don't, have a wife to take care of. I don't have kids to take care of. So not everyone's financial situation is the same. So I get that. So it's easy for me to say don't have debt. Have at least save up and have at least a year's emergency fund. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference, and on and on and on. Whereas there, you might have somebody, a single mom with four kids working two jobs that could barely keep up. So, so I get that. So I'm just want to put that out there as well. So I get it, and I feel for anybody out there, especially in these times that are kind of, that are struggling financially in any stretch of the, imagination and anything like that. Um, Rob says RV debt. Not for me. Um, Museum Privilege says reborn baby debt. I don't know what that is. All right, so now we can just place these back on the table for now. Uh, there we go. We finally finished all of the whatever. Um. Oh, I could put them. Yeah, I'm forgetting. The other papers are in a storage room out there, but these sheets I keep underneath the bed. Okay. Yep. And so, uh, And look at that, a cheese wrapper. Where did that come from? Oh boy. Ah. Okay. So now we're good for at least another month on paper. Cow. Moo. That's right. Okay. Um, Museum says, or Muslim Purple says, because of the price of fuel, cows have been wrapping their own cheese. Oh, yeah. All right, that's the last of those. Boy. Ah, okay. And then here's my. Okay, well, we'll put this down as we separate uh, them by sections. So I have this on top of the blank sheets, and then on top of those, I have my pre-printed backdrops of this size. So we have this G1 backdrop, number one. And these aren't all of them. These are just a few of them. And then we also got the orange Cyberwall. You could use these for any kind of sci-fi robot type of figure or whatever. But this one is obviously made for Decepticons, the Decepticon throne. And blue Cyberwall. So funny, not funny story, but just to give you an idea of how I think. But this was just one backdrop, um, uh, a Studio Series backdrop that would come with the action figures, the Transformer Studio Series. But they would be like this big, this tall, and then have creases in them. So I just took those and just took a nice, high quality picture of that image, put it in my editor, and edited out the creases and edited out the Transformers logo and the Hasbro logo and all that. That you don't want something like that to use as a backdrop. Then I can take those and then blow them up and print them up to these sizes. But so this was one. So this is just an example of one of them. But I thought, hey, I like to try to get as much out of something as I can. So I came up with the idea of using the same base image, but then creating the different colors. So now one backdrop becomes 3 or 4 different backdrops. So, and this wasn't even the original color. It was more like a desaturated blue, but I saturated it up to make it a bit more blue and make it punchier. Then I made a orange version, and then a purple version, and then a green version. And the green version, that came from an idea from one of my customers who said, hey, you should make these in green too. So that's what I did. So yeah, I try to look at anything and try and figure out how can I make, or with this one image, this one print file, how can I make multiple versions, multiple different products from that same image and get as much out of it as I can. And then we got a swamp for either dinosaur figures, Jurassic Park figures, or G.I. Joe, Predator. Use your imagination. Army men, whatever. Let's see. And then we got a nice swamp one, or not, or more of a jungle type one for the same kind of figures. And another Transformers one. But, this could be used for, I guess, anime type of figures as well. Just a mountain with a, I don't even know. And then one of my recent ones that I found and has become a big hit. And by the way, I cut off the white edges so it wouldn't come like this and won't have, this attached to it. Whenever someone orders it and I go to pack one of these, I'll cut everything off, the borders on the top, bottom, and to the side. I don't do that right away because, I want to have that extra protection when it's sitting in my bin, hitting up against corners. So if a corner's going to get bent, it's going to be a corner that's going to be cut off anyways, if that makes sense. Versus if I free cut the backdrops after I print them, there's a higher risk of those corners, being damaged or whatever. So I deliberately keep them like that until I'm actually ready to cut and pack them up. And there's two of those. I try to stay ahead and have at least one printed up of all my backdrops, and then maybe 2 or 3 of the really high selling ones ready to go. And another G1 backdrop of a night mountain with the futuristic city off to the side. I don't know what that is, but there it is. And another swamp, or I mean another jungle. Another G1 mountain. And just to also give you another example of sometimes the frustration that I get to go through, and again, partly because I'm printing so many of these, at some point, as I've learned, and I know not to freak out about it anymore, unlike when I first started doing this, and I would see these black ink blots or ink leaks. That's hard to see because of the light, but you can kind of see it there. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I'm able to wipe those off with toilet paper. I'll start out with a dry toilet paper and try to get as much off with just the dry paper. Then I figured out that some toilet paper dipped in a bit of water can also get rid of the rest of it. Sometimes it works and I can save a print. Sometimes it doesn't. But when that does happen, that just means the ink pad inside the printer has too much of an ink buildup. So then that means I have to, because I have like 4 printers stacked on top of each other, I have to take printers off, open up the problem printer, get my gloves in a plastic bag, and get a container of water, a stack of my free paper towels, toilet paper, Q-tips, and it takes a good half hour to hour and a half, depending on how bad it is, to clean that up and clear it up. And that almost always gets rid of the ink blots. So I would say I have to do that for every about maybe 10 to 20 prints. And I just did that a couple days ago, so it won't be long before that'll happen again. And of course, it's happening more often because I've been getting more and more orders more often, as I just recently added a whole new batch of new backdrops to the store. So It's only going to get worse, but be better because I'll be making more money. So there's this one right here. Another G1 style. Another one of the newer ones I just added to the store. Another one of my, and it's been doing pretty well. Started selling right away when I added it to the store. And finally, another good seller that gets sold a lot. This one right there. So there you go. And that's that. Wow. And my other backdrop flattening paper. And so I don't get it mixed up with an actual piece of paper that I need, I just scribble all over it so I can't miss it, and I know that's what that is. And those go under just like that. And then this goes over here. Okay. Um. Any big belly backdrops? No, unfortunately, no. I'm so sorry about that. Let's see here. Oh, that's not. So, how's everyone hanging in there? Doing good? Time to switch modes and figure out what we're going to do. I'm sure we're going to be ending this soon. Because now that I got that done, I got some more orders to take care of. So we might stay on for a little bit more. Rob says, good. Mike? Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Mr. TTR, 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 all right. So we got all that done. Thanks for hanging with me while I do that. I'm going to check to see what orders that I have that I haven't taken care of yet. What do we got? I keep a whole other list on my computer, and I'll go through the store, and I'll just write down or type in what I need to print, what I need to pack that I already have stuff made of, what I need to ship out, and all that. So it's all right there, so I don't have to constantly be looking at a million different tabs and that sort of thing. So open up my orders and tasks notepad and see what we got. Okay. We'll refresh that and see. Okay, we got that one made, and okay, so we're all good there. I'm sure I saw a couple more. Let's see. Okay, another battery order. So we need to put that under pack and ship batteries. So if you don't mind hanging out for a few more while I do a little bit of that, we could keep going. It don't matter to me. But at some point, I'm going to have to kick you out of my room so I can get back to finishing editing. So yeah, okay. And then we have a 23-inch, a 13 by 23 swamp. I just showed you that earlier, except in a 23-inch size. So 23 swamp. What else? Oh, let me. Let's keep it going, Mike. Joey says, let's go. Really? You guys are super awesome. I just feel so awkward though, like not knowing what to talk about or do. Um, as you know, I like to have something to go on, something at least somewhat planned, you know. Muslim Prisoner says, "What software do you use to organize orders?" I don't use any software. I just use the Notepad app that's on most computers, and I just type in what I need to print for that day. I print out the orders, cut them up, pack them up, and then ready to go out the door for the next day. Um, use Google Sheets, Excel. Nah, I'm already way too used to the system I use now. I mean, unless the day should come, I feel like I would have to for like I don't know. I got it all figured out, you know. Why is it? I use the notepads for pretty much everything. For that, for tax keeping purposes, bookkeeping services, calculating and documenting my earnings, and all that stuff. Um, I just want to finish so I can get back to editing more epic intros, y'alls. Okay, and an ET card. I think we have some of those already made up and ready to roll. So batteries, ET passport, 2017 version. Um, okay, folks, it looks like we're going to be going back to the table in a second. So far we have a Jenny Tilia. What's up? Did someone say ET? I did. Someone ordered one of my ET cards, so we're gonna get that packed, get the jungle or the swamp one packed, maybe even printed right here, right on the air for you, and another set of Chucky batteries. What's an ET card? I make replicas of the ET passports that you get from the ET ride here in Orlando at the Universal theme park. So I sell the three different versions: the 1990 version, the AT&T version. I'll show you in a minute uh, the cards. So yeah, I need to go get a 23-inch blank piece of paper, and this has now become a pack and ship stream, y'alls. So if you just hang on for a couple seconds while I go get that paper, and we'll get back right to it. So grab your snacks, go to the bathroom, do what you need to do, and I'll see you back here in a second.
Welcome to Hollywood Toys, the only place where you can live the movies.
Right. So, got the paper. I need to get a couple other things. And then we'll switch back to the work table in just a second. And do all that good stuff, my peoples. That's right. So, here we go. To the flow. Getting it all together. Forever. Okay. Oh, we got a whole bunch of this crap to throw away. That's right. Keep it tight. Hey, bird. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. Fire up the printer. There you go. Here we go. What's up? Okay. There's that. And then there's that. With the chat. Time to get some items. We got our bubble mailer over there. Okay. So we need to get our Chucky battery instruction sheet. Actually, you know what? Let's get started on the print since it takes a few minutes. All right. So of course, so another thing I do when I get a new sheet of paper. Oh, another thing I get to deal with. A mark or or smudge that got on there that just ruins the paper. So, oh, gotta go get another one. Pull my hair out a bit, and yeah. I'll be right back, folks. I'm so sorry about this. Gotta get another piece of paper. This one sufficient? Yay! All right. We got ones, folks. Time to load her up. Okay. So we'll get her started on her printing. What do you say? Hey. What's up? How you doing? Here we go. I just need to set my printer settings for the correct size. Printer, please. Oh, here we go. Yep. References. User defined. 2737, 2337. Yep. So um for any moments where I'm just doing my thing and not really talking, would be no different than if I wasn't live. This would be kind of your way of like peeping in behind the scenes. Like what would Mike be doing right now? Well, this is it. Live or not. So just think of it as the peeping Tom camera, peeping in to see what's going on. ET card time. Yep, that's coming up any minute now. We're just going to get this print going and started so I could do the rest. Yep. Close. Here we go. Now we just got to pull up the print file. Oop, that's the wrong thing. Come on. Jurassic Park. Backdrop. Print. Folder. There it be. 24 Swamp. Yep. Print. Why does it do that? Oh, landscape, please. And it's a go. All right. Okay. So, what do we got? Hello. All right. So I keep all my ET stuff in this bag here. All right. So there's those, those. What in the heck? I know I had, this isn't making any sense. I'm sure I already had some made up that I somehow maybe didn't put in the bag. Oh, what is going on? Just when you think you have it all together. This is blowing my mind right now because this doesn't make any friggin' sense. Not even the. This is crazy, y'all. Got to be here. Oh, okay, there's those. PlayPal's IDs. Jurassic Park Jeep tags. An old Richard Kimball license replica I made a long time ago, but this is not accurate, so I need to make an accurate version of that at some point. This is one of the many items on the to-do list. We have Thomas Anderson's work ID badge. We have some Scarface props. Jurassic Park employee badges. The Fugitive. It's crazy. Miles Dyson, Cyberdyne IDs. All right, looks like we'll be making one right here on the spot. Oh man, oh man. Hi. What's up, y'alls? What's up? Oh, prop says Gangster Mike throwing it down. PST, PST, PST. Hey, man. Thanks for stopping by. You're in for a treat. Or not. Okay, gonna get this done right now. That's right. Mhm. I need more light. Oh. Um, we need another. Where is it? Ah, okie dokie dokie. Good. Yep. Dang it. Hate it when that happens. Sometimes you just got to be more careful. Try again. So E.T. is another one of my favorite movies, but it's like I hate it at the same time because it's like one of the three or four movies that if I really watch and get into, the waterworks are coming. Because oh my lord, talk about a tear jerker of a movie that E.T. Like wow, talk about pulling at your heartstrings. What a fantastic story. But do you think we should have got an ET part two? What do y'all think? I would say more good that we haven't than bad. No. Ugh. Why does it do that? Like if you like hit it ever so slightly, like the printer will want to suck it back up, and it's like, no, bad printer, bad. Okay, so that's done. All right. Whew. Stupid printer. Yeah. All right, so there's that. Um, Also one of my favorite rides at Universal. It's one of the last remaining original opening day rides. The only one left. Everything else is gone. Jaws, Confrontation, um, Earthquake, The Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera, Murder, She Wrote, The Hercules Show, the Psycho attraction, Terminator 2 3D, Twister, which, by the way, you could check out my video from Twister and all of the older attractions on my channel, including my last ride on Back to the Future before it closed. Yeah, I must be ancient. I'm one of those rare few that have been to Universal before Islands Adventure was even a thing, when it was just Universal. What? It was only one park? Yeah, but it's also hard to imagine there was a time before City Walk. There was a time before the big parking garages that are there now. It was just a flat outdoor parking lot right in front of the park. I can't even imagine picturing driving up, and as you're parking, you could see the arch right over there and the globe. Nickelodeon Studios. Man, Nickelodeon was the shiznit back in the day, and being able to go to see to the actual studio, man, what memories. And see some of the sets from some of the shows. I remember that. Big hallway that you walk through with huge windows, and you could look down and see the different sound stages. All that, all the good stuff. Oh, I pulled out the wrong one. Sorry. Here it is. Man, I don't know. Okay. You know, I even had the white van from ET. I had the same exact model, year, color. Only it was a piece of crap, so all rusted out and stuff. Had it for about a year, then sold it. Oh boy. So yeah, the very first time I went to Universal was in 1997. And thanks to my good old Uncle Frank for taking me and my mom after burying my grandmother or before or something like that. Yeah. And I remember it vividly because Terminator 2 3D had just opened in in December of 96. So, I was one of the first few that, got to see it in 97. And of course, being a huge fan of the Terminator franchise, just fell in love with it right off the bat, and yeah, was one of my favorites. Um, and and then I've been looking back at older videos from other people from around the same time frame, and from I think 95, if not definitely 96. Islands of Adventure was under construction, and you could look right over and see it, especially in the videos. But yet, strangely enough, I don't have any memories of looking and seeing, oh, they're constructing something else. I just don't remember that. And I don't remember another garage being constructed because they had just the one garage that they just built, and then they finished the other one sometime after that, which I'm going to be doing in-depth videos on, yes, the Universal Studios parking garages. Something I've been looking forward to doing for months now, that I can't wait to get back out there and do my thing. Okay. We need a toothpick. Where is it? Which, right over there. Okay. Stop, y'alls. Y'all still with me? You still standing by at the Hollywood Toy Station, living the movies? Where are we at? Oh, I'm still alive. Oh, hey, how y'all doing? Woohoo! Yeah. To the 10 people watching and the 2 likes, thank you very much. I'm going to give my own video a like. So what? Sue me. All right. Almost done, almost done. Having fun. Dun, 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 dun. Huh? Why? Come on. I just want to be done with this. Please. Joey says, eat a cupcake. I can't. I don't have any cupcakes, and B, after gaining back a couple pounds, now we need to go back to full-time scorched earth, restricted eating, no more sugar again, which is kind of unfortunate because I just bought a big jar of peanut butter and a big box of granola bars that I'm just going to have to throw away, because if I don't, then I'm just going to keep eating them, because at the same time I don't want to waste the money or waste it. Um so yeah. So I'm definitely going to be, again, sometime in the future, another one of the things on my to-do list is making more ET related items coming to the store soon. Yeah. Hey, Gothic, he says, give them to Tina. The cupcakes? I don't have any cupcakes to give anybody. Oh, you mean the other stuff? Yeah. Wow, we've been going for 103 minutes. And it'll almost be editing time. Okay. Now, am I done? Okay. All right. So here it is, folks. The ET passport from the Universal Studios ET ride. The ET Adventure Passport. This is the 2017 version. There's the front, and there's the back that they scan you in when they give you the card and you hand it to them before boarding the ride. All accurate to the actual card, and as one of my best sellers. So I pack these in these baseball card sleeves, and then for extra protection, I ship it in between two pieces of small cardboard, even though this is a thick enough item, but I'm shipping it with USPS ground tracking. Oh, and what else do we need? Oh, it's over here. Yeah. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Shipping note. We drop it in there. Got it in between there. And mm, come on. There we go. All right. ET card packed. Ready to roll. Just need to write the name on it so I know what label goes to what when I print labels tomorrow. Which hope I could squeeze in a printing or a label printing stream tomorrow afternoon, like I do most Mondays. All right, so this one, the passport, is going out to Taylor B. Come on. There we go. So that's done. Now we could put all this crap away. What do you say? All done and dusted on that one. And then we'll be all caught up. That's garbage. All right. Oh, 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 oh. So that's that. This goes in this drawer. This goes in that drawer. Need I say more? Oh, yeah. Okay. Next is the Chucky batteries. Go to the trusty Chucky binder with all of my pre-made stuff. And as I've shown before, along with the set of Chucky batteries, you also get this really cool Good Guys battery instruction sheet that I made based off of similar looking instruction sheets of the 80s that you would find in, toy packaging or whatever. Just an extra little embellishment, to make my product, my version of the batteries stand out from anyone else making and selling them. So we have that, and we need to get our big container of batteries. Oh boy. And here's how much of a weirdo I am. Not only do I like to keep a journal, a diary, documenting, all of my days. Whenever I buy something, especially in stuff like this, uh, I like to uh, write down where I bought it, when I bought it, for what price. So I bought this container January 9th, 2022 for $5.48 plus tax. So yeah. So here I make and try and keep extra shipping cardboard for the battery instruction sheets. So I get that done out of the way first since it's the easiest. So we need our tape. Yep. Oh, dang it. Scissors! Here we go. Still with me, folks? I'm still with me. All right. So I'd like to put that in there and then round off the corner so it'll slip into the bubble mailer easier. So I do that with the paper on there, so I don't accidentally cut any part of the actual piece of paper, and also make sure I have it sized right. Then we tape up the other end. Rob says, as always, Mike. Oh, thank you, Rob. Thank you very much. And then now I can cut the other piece of cardboard matched to the ones I already cut. And there you go. And it kind of baffles me that I even have to do this, and I'll show you. But yeah, so this would be to protect the instruction sheet from not getting bent, along with the batteries, right? And that's how I would send it. But I had a couple customers message me saying, "Hey, I got the batteries, but I didn't get the instruction sheet." I'm like, you didn't see that big piece of you didn't see that big cardboard sandwich in there? That wasn't for the batteries necessarily. I mean, it is kind of for the batteries, but it was more for the paper, and they would throw that away, like without, you don't see that it's taped or anything like that or whatever. So since then, now I have to literally write battery instructions on them so that people will know not to throw it away. Battery instructions. And I do it on both sides just to double make sure. So you can't miss that. With my sloppy writing. There we go. Okay. So that takes care of that. Now for the actual batteries. Okay, luckily we have some already bagged up. So we just cut. Well, there's a little bit of air in there, so I try and. Punk Rock says, or print out labels for that part of the product. What do you mean? What kind of a label? You mean print out a label and stick on here? If that's the case, I would just write it out, because then that's just more wear and tear on the printer and more ink that doesn't need to be used if it doesn't have to. So I don't mind handwriting it. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so we cut. Okay. And then we have our bag of packaging labels, some already made, some that I still need to make, along with the battery stickers I use to stick onto the batteries, since these are made from real batteries. And then before we put and glue anything together, we make sure there's no marks or... Yep, I see issues with that one, so that's why we print up extras. Joey says, get a high interest business loan. Why? I don't need no loans. We don't take kindly to loans and debts around here. Okay. All right. Looks good. Okay, and then we attach it like that. And then finally, the last step, super glue. Woo! I go through tons of this stuff. So now we just glue in the corners and all around. Okay. Close her up and hold it shut. Good quality assurance practice. Do you have an LLC? No, not yet. But I do at some point plan on possibly getting one. Especially if it can help me save on taxes. Oh. Okay. And then we double check to make sure we didn't get any glue smudges or anything. I'm just super, super picky and just want as perfect and good looking of item or product as possible. And there we go. Another battery set made and sold. Now we could pack her up. And I have one item left. All right. Hey, Barrel Seamus! Wow, those batteries look very delicious. Medium rare? I'm more of a medium kind of guy. All right. So we wrap these up in a piece of paper. Woo! We go. Another one down. All right. Who's this going to? All right. This one is going to Armando de la Rosa in, I don't know, I won't know the place until I print the label. Armando. All right, all right. Okay, make sure nothing else new came in while I was doing all that crap. All right, still good there. Okay, and come on. Yep. All right. So now we're just left with the backdrop to cut and pack and pack. How about another scene from the classic movie Toys? Um, well, that's the scene that I did. That's the only line I have memorized because I love it so much. I don't even know where to begin in terms of what scene. I'd have to really think about that. Um, that's the problem with that movie is that it's like there's so much to choose from. Just trying to even think about it. Um, when they're in the room and they're making the fake vomit, and LL Cool J comes in. You guys need to change your diet. Craft. What? Beechcraft. He flew a beechcraft, not a beech nut. Oh, beech nut, beechcraft. beach, ball. What difference does it make? They don't know what they're doing. To them, it's just another game. Okay. Sure, it's the right size before. Okay. Needs another little. No. Okay, maybe just a tad bit more, taking off the tops. Uh, and also, a lot of the scenes in that movie too are more visual gags too. So, like, you could quote a line from it, but without the context and without the visual aid to go with it, it just, you know what I mean? Has anyone seen Seamus around here lately? No. Um, Joey says, let's hear you describe a movie. Okay, which movie? Um, I don't know. I like when you do it. Oh, I appreciate that, but I can't think of one right now that I could describe. E.T. E.T. is the story of an alien who is accidentally left behind by his other fellow aliens on Earth and befriends a young boy by the name of Elliot, who will build a friendship that will last a lifetime in a story about learning what love is all about. And sometimes love means letting go. Or something like that. I might have to do a scene reenactment of E.T. I know I still have Back to the Future to do. That's also on the to-do list for future lives. We'll do the whole trilogy. All right, we're cutting off the borders now. There's the top. And now for the other side. But the magic that they brought with for that movie is amazing. And again, it's a shame that we'll never make movies like that ever again, practically, with an actual actor that doesn't have legs moving around in a rubber suit. It's all CGI now. Animatronics are a thing of the past. Stunt actors in suits are a thing in the past. And again, as time continues to go on, we're gonna appreciate even more and more. Joey says he didn't have legs. No, they had. I think they had. It's been a while since I've seen the documentary, but I think there was two people that didn't have legs that was inside the ET suit, and then they had the fully animatronic one that wasn't a suit, and a whole bunch of other stuff. They had someone just to do his hands. It's like and plus all the animatronics. So it's amazing, how many people it takes or took just to create one character. Hey, Carrie, just thought I'd see if you were still live. I just got home from church and had some pizza for dinner. Hope you're having a good stream and a good weekend. Oh, thank you, Carrie. You too. I was just finishing up and packing and shipping orders so I could get back to more editing, more epic intros. So we're almost done here, folks. Thanks for hanging on for dear life. But then I also realized, hey, not only can I use the intros for intros, I could also use them for outros, especially for those of you that jumped in late and missed it. You'll have a chance to see it again momentarily. All right. So we roll these up, and we use these to roll around the paper. Oh, I already grabbed one because I put a rubber band around it, so that way it doesn't leave any indentations from the rubber band when they get it and unroll it. What a day, what a night. Getting lots done, got the paper rolls done. You guys wanted to wrestle with me. I kind of wanted to wrestle back. It's just nonstop action around here. All right. And I keep all of my rubber bands in this cup that used to have a handle, but it dropped one day and it just broke off. But it still serves its purpose, so saw no reason to throw it away or replace it with another one. So let's see. Sometimes I can get away with just one rubber band if I put it on there and I can let go of it and the poster or backdrop doesn't unravel much. I'll leave it at that. But sometimes, like, if I have more than one backdrop, sometimes one rubber band doesn't quite cut it. I'll put one here and one here. Yeah. So then we take our shipping note and put it inside the rubber band. There you go. And then get our plastic. Wow, we're down to our last two, literally. So now that's something else I gotta do. Cut up more plastic bags for my shipping tubes. Oh, it's nothing. That's not. I'm gonna have to cut up another bag. So hang on, folks. I'll be right back in a sec. Okay. Um, um, All right. Stick one piece in one end, stick that down in there, and then stick the other side on top of there. Seal it back up. Seal it off with some tapes. All right. And thus completes shipping or packing everything. Okay. Yep. So this one is going out to Harry B. Here we go. Haha. All right, folks. Carrie Bilvon, what's that? Um, okay. Um, all right, folks. Thank you so much once again for joining me here today on this impromptu, unplanned live. I hope you like the intro. There's still many more to come. We have several already rendered and ready to roll, and a few more that I'm going to be working on still, creating and tweaking and putting out there. So it's going to be intro docious around here. So again, for those of you that missed it, you're going to get a chance to see it here now. So thanks for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe to Yakov Petrovich for some pretty cool music and gaming and Yakmas Rants streams. That's right, y'all. And subscribe to The Carrie Show for some fantastic Bible study streams and gaming streams and chat streams. Yeah. And Rob says, great stream, Mike. Thank you, Rob. Thanks for all the supports. So yeah. And so I really hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. And if you did, then please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos and more lives just like this one. And leave me some comments. Give it a thumbs up and share the video. You can also follow me on all of my other social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, all that stuff. All the links are in the description box below. And now, stay tuned for even a more amazing Hollywood Toyz videos right after this. And to everyone out there watching, this is Magic Mike, reminding you to live for your family and friends. Live your best life and live the movies.
Time to jack into the matrix of Hollywood toys and live the movies.